The Young and the Restless is bringing major tension to Genoa City on Monday, May 11th, as several storylines begin to collide in dramatic ways.
Secrets are growing harder to hide, emotions are running high, and some characters are about to make decisions that could change everything. From Phyllis Summers planning her next move to Nick Newman battling dangerous temptation, this episode is packed with suspense from beginning to end. The day begins at the Newman Ranch, where Chelsea Lawson is keeping a close eye on Adam Newman. Chelsea can sense that Adam is being pulled back toward a life he has tried to leave behind. With gambling issues once causing serious trouble, she worries that the recent pressure surrounding the family could push him toward old habits. Adam, however, tries to calm her fears. He insists that he is stronger now and knows how to resist temptation. According to Adam, he has no plans to fall back into destructive behavior.
But Chelsea's concerns do not stop there.
She also notices something else that bothers her deeply.
When Adam recently spoke to Reza Thompson, Chelsea could hear a different tone in his voice.
It sounded softer, more personal, and far more intimate than she expected. Chelsea begins to wonder if Adam may be developing feelings or hidden interest.
Adam quickly shuts that idea down.
He tells Chelsea clearly that he has no personal or professional interest in Reza and claims there is nothing for her to worry about.
Even though Adam gives reassurance, Chelsea still seems uncertain.
She knows Adam can be unpredictable, and trust has always been a fragile issue between them.
Chelsea wants stability, but in Genoa City, stability rarely lasts long. That uneasy feeling continues when another unexpected visitor arrives.
Christine Blair Romolotti soon stops by the ranch to discuss the legal trouble involving the Newman family. Christine makes one thing very clear from the start.
Whatever happens next must be handled properly and by the book.
She wants no shortcuts, no manipulation, and no reckless moves. Her firm attitude sends a message to everyone in the room that this case is serious and must be treated carefully. Once Christine leaves, Chelsea wastes no time confronting Victor Newman. She directly questions whether the evidence being used against Phyllis is fake or manipulated. Chelsea wants honesty, but Victor remains calm and unreadable. Before Victor can fully respond, Adam steps in with a cold perspective.
He tells Chelsea that it does not even matter whether the evidence is fabricated or not.
In his view, what matters is winning.
That response leaves Chelsea stunned.
She sees just how far the Newman family may be willing to go in order to protect themselves. It also reminds her that Adam still thinks like Victor more than he may realize. While Chelsea worries about ethics and consequences, Adam appears focused only on results.
Meanwhile, another battle is forming elsewhere in Genoa City.
Phyllis Summers is not ready to back down, and she is preparing her next strategy. She knows the pressure is mounting, but Phyllis has survived countless crises before. This time, however, the stakes may be higher than ever.
As Monday's episode unfolds, viewers can already feel that everyone is moving toward conflict. Chelsea is questioning Adam. Victor is hiding something. Christine is demanding fairness.
And Phyllis is getting ready to fight back in a way nobody expects. The first part of this story sets the stage for chaos. Relationships are being tested, trust is fading, and the line between right and wrong is becoming harder to see.
For some characters, survival means telling the truth.
For others, survival means controlling the story before someone else does.
And this is only the beginning.
The tension continues to rise on Monday's episode of The Young and the Restless as the focus shifts to Phyllis Summers, who is once again determined to outsmart everyone around her. No matter how much pressure she faces, Phyllis refuses to stay quiet or accept defeat. Instead of backing down, she is already working on a new plan that could shake the Newman family and create even more legal chaos across Genoa City. At the GCAC, Phyllis sits down for a strategy meeting with Michael Baldwin and Lauren Fenmore Baldwin.
The atmosphere is serious from the moment the conversation begins.
Michael knows this case is becoming more difficult by the day, while Lauren can clearly see that emotions are running high. Phyllis, however, arrives with confidence and energy.
She believes she has found the perfect move to turn everything around. Without wasting time, Phyllis presents a bold idea.
She wants to get an audio recording of Victor Newman admitting that the evidence against her is fake.
In her mind, if Victor confesses on tape, the entire case could collapse instantly.
It would damage Victor's credibility, expose manipulation, and possibly clear her name all at once.
Michael immediately pushes back.
He tells Phyllis that Victor would never confess to something like that. Victor is too smart, too careful, and too experienced to make such a reckless mistake.
Michael sees the idea as unrealistic and dangerous.
But Phyllis is not convinced. She believes Victor may not confess publicly, but he might say something privately to someone he trusts.
That is when she drops another twist.
Phyllis suggests that Victor could admit the truth to Michael himself. Since Michael has a long history with Victor, she believes he may be the only person capable of getting close enough to hear the truth.
Michael is stunned by the suggestion.
He quickly reminds Phyllis that he is her attorney, and using his position to secretly trap Victor would be unethical and could destroy his career.
Phyllis does not seem concerned.
In fact, she pushes harder. She tells Michael that he may lose this job anyway if he cannot find a better defense strategy soon. Her words hit hard. Michael has worked tirelessly to help her, but Phyllis acts as though time is running out and loyalty means nothing without results.
The pressure increases when Phyllis gives Michael an ultimatum.
She tells him he has 1 week to come up with a stronger legal defense. If he fails, she will look for another lawyer.
Michael is clearly frustrated. He reminds her that very few attorneys would even touch a case this complicated.
In his opinion, he may be the only person crazy enough to take on such a difficult fight and still try to save Phyllis from herself.
Lauren watches the exchange closely and can see both sides. She understands Michael's exhaustion, but she also knows Phyllis is terrified of losing everything.
Pride, fear, and desperation are driving her decisions now. The conversation then turns to the evidence itself. There has been talk from one expert who claims the proof against Phyllis is legitimate. That creates another serious problem. If the emails and materials were created using advanced artificial intelligence that perfectly copied Phyllis, then someone put major effort into framing her. But if another expert proves Phyllis used similar technology herself, she could face even more serious consequences. That possibility changes everything. Instead of being the victim, Phyllis could be seen as the mastermind.
Michael knows they are running out of time to control the narrative. Still, Phyllis refuses to panic. She believes there is always a way out if she moves fast enough and thinks smarter than everyone else. But confidence can be dangerous when mixed with desperation. As this part of the story ends, one thing becomes clear. Phyllis is ready to gamble everything. Michael is reaching his limit.
And Victor may soon become the center of an even bigger war.
The next move could destroy alliances, expose secrets, and send this battle in a direction nobody expected. Monday's drama on The Young and the Restless keeps building as Phyllis Summers reaches a breaking point.
Frustration, anger, and fear are pushing her to act more aggressively than ever. She feels cornered, betrayed, and surrounded by people protecting the Newman family. Instead of calming down, Phyllis decides to go on the attack, and that choice quickly creates another explosive confrontation in Genoa City. After her tense strategy meeting with Michael Baldwin and Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, Phyllis notices someone nearby who immediately catches her attention. Christine Blair Romolotti appears within sight, and that is all it takes to trigger Phyllis. She storms over with intensity written all over her face, clearly ready for a fight.
Phyllis wastes no time accusing Christine of doing Victor Newman's dirty work.
In her eyes, Christine is no longer acting as an independent legal professional. Instead, Phyllis believes Christine has become nothing more than a puppet for the Newman family. She questions why Christine is suddenly so involved and demands to know what Victor offered her in exchange for loyalty. Christine remains calm, but her expression shows she is not amused.
She tells Phyllis that these accusations are reckless and completely false. Christine insists she is doing her job and following the law.
But Phyllis is too angry to listen. She claims Victor must have sweetened the deal somehow and says no one would work this hard for him without getting something in return. The scene quickly becomes intense as other people nearby begin to notice the confrontation.
Voices rise, tempers flare, and the tension becomes impossible to ignore.
Phyllis then makes another bold threat. She warns Christine that if corruption is involved, she will expose it publicly and turn the entire scandal into a media firestorm.
Christine does not back down.
In a sharp response, she warns Phyllis to be careful with her words.
She explains that false public accusations could lead to a defamation lawsuit.
If that happens, Phyllis could lose even more money on top of the legal trouble she is already facing. Christine also coldly reminds her that prison is still a real possibility if the case goes badly. Those words hit hard, but Phyllis refuses to show weakness. She may be shaken internally, yet she continues acting fearless. For Phyllis, backing down now would feel like surrender. She has spent too much of her life fighting to stop now. Meanwhile, Michael can see that Phyllis is spiraling. He knows emotional outbursts like this only make her situation worse. Every angry accusation gives opponents more reason to paint her as unstable and dangerous. But controlling Phyllis has never been easy, especially when she believes she is being targeted unfairly. Elsewhere in Genoa City, the pressure surrounding the Newman family is also growing. Victor may look confident on the outside, but even he knows enemies are gathering. If Phyllis uncovers something real, it could create serious damage. If she fails, however, she may destroy herself in the process. Lauren quietly worries about everyone involved. She knows how personal these battles can become. What starts as legal conflict often turns into emotional war, and once that happens, relationships rarely recover. This chapter of the story highlights one important truth: fear often reveals itself through anger. Phyllis is terrified of losing control, losing freedom, and losing the chance to clear her name. Rather than admit that fear, she channels it into attacks against anyone standing in her way. Christine, on the other hand, is standing firm. She refuses to be intimidated and seems ready for whatever comes next. That makes this rivalry even more dangerous because neither woman plans to retreat. As the confrontation ends, viewers are left wondering who will strike next. Phyllis is desperate. Christine is determined. Victor remains in the shadows. And Michael knows the situation is becoming harder to contain by the minute. But while this legal war heats up, another personal crisis is quietly forming elsewhere. Nick Newman is facing a battle no courtroom can solve, and the next part of the episode will reveal just how serious his struggle has become. As legal battles and public confrontations unfold across Genoa City, another emotional storyline takes center stage on Monday's episode of The Young and the Restless. This time, the focus shifts to Sharon Newman and her family, where concern, healing, and hidden tension begin to mix in powerful ways. While others are fighting over power and revenge, Sharon is simply hoping for peace. The episode finds Sharon having an encouraging phone call with Mariah Copeland at her treatment facility. Sharon is relieved to hear progress in Mariah's voice and senses that things may finally be moving in the right direction. For Sharon, hearing hope from someone she loves means everything. She has been carrying emotional weight for a long time, and this small moment gives her strength. Even so, Sharon knows recovery is never simple. Healing takes time, patience, and support. Though the call lifts her spirits, she also understands that many challenges still remain. Like any loving parent, she wants to fix everything immediately, but some journeys can only be taken one step at a time. Soon after the call ends, Nick Newman and Noah Newman return to the cottage. Their arrival changes the mood quickly. It is obvious from their expressions that something serious has happened. Sharon immediately senses the tension and asks what is going on. Noah begins explaining a shocking confrontation involving Matt. According to Noah, he came face to face with him, but the meeting did not go as expected. Instead of acting threatening or aggressive, Matt claimed he did not remember who Noah was. That strange response leaves everyone confused. Sienna Bacall is also there during the conversation, and she points out an important possibility. She reminds them that Matt was hit hard earlier, and the injury may have caused memory issues. In her view, it is possible he was telling the truth. That idea creates mixed reactions in the room. Noah is unsure what to believe. Part of him thinks Matt could be lying in order to avoid consequences or lower everyone's guard. Another part of him wonders if the memory loss is real. If Matt truly cannot remember anything, then the situation becomes far more complicated. Sharon listens carefully and tries to stay calm, But concern is written across her face. She knows how dangerous uncertainty can be.
Someone pretending to forget the past can be just as risky as someone who remembers everything.
The conversation takes another turn when Noah mentions that Audra Charles was present during the confrontation and witnessed the entire exchange.
That information instantly catches Sienna's attention.
Her tone changes, and subtle jealousy begins to appear.
Sienna starts asking questions about Audra's involvement.
Why was she there?
How close was she standing? What exactly did she say?
Though she tries to sound casual, her discomfort becomes obvious. She does not like the idea of Audra being involved in Noah's life again, especially during a tense moment.
Noah attempts to downplay it, insisting Audra was simply there by coincidence and had nothing to do with the encounter.
But jealousy rarely disappears that easily.
Sienna remains uneasy, and Sharon can see the emotional tension forming between them. Nick, however, is focused on a different concern. He believes the family needs to take immediate action.
Whether Matt has amnesia or not, Nick wants the Newman security team alerted right away.
He refuses to take chances when family safety is involved. Nick then says something that catches everyone's attention.
He insists that if necessary, he will handle Matt himself. His tone is firm and intense, showing just how protective he feels right now.
Sharon notices Nick's agitation and growing anger.
She knows when Nick starts carrying too much pressure, he often tries to solve everything alone. That pattern worries her because emotional stress can lead people toward dangerous choices. As this part of the episode closes, multiple tensions are rising at once.
Sharon is trying to hold her family together. Noah is caught in confusion. Sienna is struggling with jealousy. Nick is becoming more aggressive.
And beneath Nick's determination, another secret battle is beginning to grow, one that no one around him fully sees yet.
Monday's episode of The Young and the Restless reaches a powerful and emotional final chapter as the spotlight turns fully to Nick Newman.
While everyone around him is focused on outside threats, Nick is facing something far more dangerous within himself. Pressure, anger, fear, and exhaustion are pushing him toward a private battle that could change everything if he loses control.
After hearing about Matt's return and the confusion surrounding his claimed memory loss, Nick wastes no time taking action. He quickly informs Victor Newman, Adam Newman, and Chelsea Lawson about everything that happened. Nick wants the family prepared and alert. He refuses to allow any threat near the people he loves. The news creates immediate concern. Questions begin flying about whether Matt truly has amnesia or if he is simply pretending.
Victor is naturally suspicious and believes deception is always possible.
Adam also doubts the story and thinks there may be more happening beneath the surface.
Chelsea, meanwhile, worries about how far tensions could escalate if everyone reacts emotionally.
Nick listens, but it is clear his patience is running thin. He is frustrated by uncertainty and tired of waiting for answers. For Nick, this is no longer just about Matt.
It is about protecting family, regaining control, and ending the chaos before it spreads any further. That determination leads Nick and Adam back to the Park Cafe, where they hope to find evidence or clues that Matt may have left behind.
They carefully look around the area, checking for anything useful. But even during the search, Adam notices something troubling about Nick. Nick is visibly agitated.
His movements are tense, his temper is short, and he seems unable to settle down.
Adam asks if he is alright, sensing that something deeper may be wrong. Nick quickly dismisses the concern. He insists he is fine and says there is nothing to worry about.
Trying to lighten the mood, Adam offers to grab him a sandwich.
Nick agrees, using the moment as an excuse to be left alone for a few minutes.
Adam walks away, believing he is giving his brother a chance to calm down.
But once Nick is alone, the truth begins to surface. Nick reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small bag. Inside is one final fentanyl pill.
He stares at it silently, clearly tempted.
The moment is heavy and deeply personal. No anger, no family drama, no outside enemy compares to what he is feeling right now. Nick knows exactly what that pill represents.
It offers escape, relief, numbness, and temporary silence from everything crushing him inside. But it also represents danger, relapse, and a path that could destroy his life.
His hand lingers as he looks at it. The temptation is real. For viewers, this becomes one of the most emotional moments of the episode. Nick has always tried to be strong for everyone else. He carries burdens quietly, protects the people he loves, and often hides his own pain. But strength without healing can become a trap. No one nearby knows what he is holding. No one realizes the battle happening in his mind. To everyone else, Nick looks stressed. In reality, he is standing at the edge of a life-changing decision. The young and the restless spoilers suggest that Nick's struggle with drugs is far from over. Fighting temptation may become harder than ever in the days ahead. If he gives in, the consequences could be devastating not only for him, but for everyone who depends on him. And if he resists, another difficult journey begins, one that requires honesty, help, and facing pain he has tried to bury. As Monday's episode ends, viewers are left with one haunting question. Will Nick choose recovery, or ruin? That final image of Nick holding the last pill may become one of the most unforgettable moments of the week, proving once again that in Genoa City, the most dangerous battles are often the ones nobody else can see.